What's up, guys? It is Thursday, December 15th. It's 3:11 p.m. And this is a deep dive on what I like to call the X factor when it comes to ISO and why the X coins are the ones to go for just straight off the gate with the ISO 4217 currency code standard. So ISO 4217 is a standard published by the International Organization of Standardization that defines alpha codes and numeric codes for the representation of currencies and provides information about the relationships between individual currencies and their minor units. This data is published in 3 tables. Table 1, current currency and funds code list. Table 2 is current funds codes. Table 3 is a list of codes for historic denominations of currencies and funds. The first edition was published in 1978. The table's history and ongoing discussion are maintained by SIX Group on behalf of the ISO and the Swiss Association for Standardization. The ISO 4217 code list is used in banking and business globally, so that's why we care about it. We're involved with the cryptos that are involved with the banks. In many countries, the ISO 4217 alpha codes for the more common currencies are so well known publicly that exchange rates published in newspapers or posted in banks use only these to delineate the currencies instead of translated currency names or ambiguous currency symbols. ISO 4217 alpha codes are used on airline tickets and international train tickets to remove any ambiguity about the price. All right, so then there's contents here, right? You have history, types of codes. So the types of codes is what's important. National currencies. So you have codes for national currencies. Like Japan currency code is JPY. Then X currencies, right? X currencies, funds, precious metals, supranationals, right? Supranational currencies. X currencies, funds, precious metals, supranationals. In addition to codes for most active national currencies, ISO 4217 provides codes for supranational currencies, procedural purposes, and several things which are similar to currencies. Codes for the precious metals: gold XAU, silver's XAG, palladium's XPD, platinum's XPT, and they're formed by prefixing the element's chemical symbol with the letter X. These currency units are denominated as 1 troy ounce of the specified metal as opposed to USD 1 or Euro 1. The code XTS is reserved for use in testing. The code XXX is used to denote a transaction involving no currency. There are also codes specifying certain monetary instruments used in international finance, like XDR is the symbol for special drawing rate issued by the International Monetary Fund. The codes for most supranational currencies, such as the East Caribbean dollar, the CFP franc, the CFA franc, the BAC, and the CFA franc BCAO, the predecessor to the euro, the European currency unit, the EQ. Remember the EQ de mark? That seems like that's what they were trying to get at there with doing this. March 13th, It came into operation on March 13th, 1979. Had the code XEU. So as you can see, if a commodity, like commodities, supranational currencies, they start with X, right? They're not tied down to one specific country or geographical location. They're borderless. The codes for most supranational, the use of an initial letter X for these purposes is facilitated by the ISO 3166 rule that no official country code beginning with X will ever be assigned. The inclusion of EU denoting the European Union in the ISO 31661 reserve codes list allows the euro to be coded as EUR rather than assign a code beginning with X, even though it is a supranational currency. There we go. So X, right? So now let's go to all the coins that start with X. XDC, XLM, XRP, right? It's all the coins. So these are just nothing, but XRP, Monero, XMR, XLM, Stellar, XTZ, Tezos, XCN, Chain, right? XEC, eCash. There's not many. XEM, NEM, XCH, Chia, Symbol, XYM. Not sure about that one. No, Nano, XAUT, so Tether Gold, XPRT, persistence. We got XGD, XVS, XVG, Verge, XPR's Proton. Feel like we're missing some in here, huh? I didn't see Stellar. So Stellar, obviously XLM, Stellar Pay. So you have all these Stellar things that start with X still. Yeah, there's not many, right? Like if we were to go to the Discord right now, because you already know we set up the X symbols. So in the Discord, if we look at the X's, we have XYO. That's one that we missed. XYO, XTZ, XRP, XLM, XDC, XCN, and then Tezos as well too. Yeah, we had that there. So like there's a small few, right? Small few, but I believe they really cover most of the ones that are working with these institutions, right? Like Tezos is built for like more institutional smart contracts, enterprise grade smart contracts. XLM working with the United Nations as of today. XRP, I don't even have to say anything about that. XCN is working with institutions as well too. And you have XDC, they're tokenizing gold. So as you can see, XYO is more of like, I think it's like geographical or geo data, something like that. XYO network, geolocating data or something. Geolocation. So a new concept of geolocation based on blockchain technology. So as you can see, these are some heavy hitters. XYO is like tied up with, I think, Microsoft as well too. I remember back 2018. That's why I bought into it. So yeah, so as you can see, the X's, the X factor when it comes to ISO is the holy grail to knowing which coins are going to be able to kind of be formatted into the system. So now let's go to the ISO 222 list here. So ISO 222 for crypto, our crypto's ISO compliant and can be used by banks. So this was June 9th, not that long ago. ISO is a non-governmental global organization based in Geneva, Switzerland. ISO develops international standards for industrial, commercial, and proprietary use. If an ISO standard is established, virtually all financial institutions in the world adopt it. An ISO code for Bitcoin, BTC, could facilitate global mainstream adoption more than any other action. ISO has largely ignored cryptos until the last few years when CBDCs started gaining momentum. Currently, financial institutions rely on the ISO 4217 standard to identify currencies for global transactions. For example, the US dollar is assigned to the code USD in the standard. Given the lack of ISO codes in the crypto world, cryptos currently use unofficial ISO codes such as XBT for Bitcoin. However, in the new ISO 222 standard, cryptos could be assigned ISO codes if they are compliant with ISO 222. This could lead to adoption by centralized banks and enable cross-border crypto payments through centralized financial institutions. What purposes do ISO standards serve? Though its standards, ISO aims to promote international trade and protect end users by ensuring the products being made are safe and acceptable of acceptable quality. To date, ISO has over 20,000 standards and continuously updates them by releasing technical reports, analysis, publications. We can skip that. The global financial industry is one of the many industries for which ISO sets standards. ISO is the standard setting body of basically all these different industries here. So in some cases, the term ISO is used to describe products that were built according to a certain standard. For instance, the ISO 42110 standard is used for bikes. Okay, so what is the role of ISO 222 in crypto? Crypto that complies with the ISO 222 standard could be approved by a centralized bank that enables crypto payments. ISO standardized crypto identifiers are going through it to change the way crypto is used. If ISO issues an official code for a crypto such as Bitcoin or Ethereum, that crypto will enter the databases tables of top financial services like Visa and MasterCard. So then it goes into the 4217 currency identifier standard, and we already kind of know. So we can keep going here. So if an official currency code, the first two letters are generally derived from the alphabetic county code defined in ISO 3166, and the last letter is generally derived from the official currency name. For example, in CID, the CA stands for Canada and the D stands for dollar. The existing code definition method raises issues for crypto codification because many crypto codes conflict with existing country codes. For example, consider XBT, the unofficial ISO code for Bitcoin. The X denotes that no county is associated with the asset, similar to the codes for gold, XAU, and silver, XAG. But the BT represents Bitcoin, presents a conflict because it already officially stands for Bhutan in ISO 4217. The following chart shows some ways in which crypto codes could clash with current ISO 4217 currency identifiers. So Bitcoin could clash with Bhutan, Ethereum could clash with Ethiopia, Bitcoin Cash could clash with the European unit of account, Solana could clash with Peru. So there's problems here. That's why the ones that are labeled X are strong off the gate: XRP, XLM, XDC, right? For cryptos to be classified as legitimate currencies by ISO, they have to both comply with new standards in global financial systems and have an ISO code that doesn't conflict with existing codes. So then it goes into digital token identifiers. We're not going to run through all this. Let's go into what is ISO 222, right? Talks about Ripple in here. So the ISO 222 standard will set a new standard of communication for all financial institutions worldwide. The ISO 222 standard will completely change the financial landscape and improve international money transfers. Europe will transition to ISO towards the end of 2022, and the US will implement it in 2023. Cryptos that update their blockchains to comply with this new standard will likely appreciate in price if they are chosen for payments by banks. The new ISO standard will be used for global payment systems, message exchanges, which is messaging format, trading, and other activities. It defines changes such as encoding data in XLM format and new digital token identifiers. It was developed by the Registration Management Group, which comprises 37 of the world's largest financial players, including Ripple. Ripple's vice president claims that Ripple already complies with ISO 222, and together with RippleNet will be the first crypto company that is ready for the new global financial standard. Swift to ISO 222. Swift, the global messaging network that banks use to send funds internationally, will be entirely updated to ISO near the start of 2023. Its original format will no longer be used at all by 2025. Banks around the world, whether they're made in Japan, at JPY at the Bank of Japan, or EUR in Dutch Bank, will follow the same payment protocol, and this opens up an opportunity for cryptos that are compatible with the new standard to be included in the update. What would make a crypto ISO compliant? The ISO update could give certain cryptos the advantage of being ISO compliant and chosen by banks for crypto payments. While the blockchain community often criticizes centralized bank services as slow and outdated, this update could signal they're ready for change. To be compliant, a crypto blockchain would have to fulfill all the Swift communication requirements, including the ability to pass customer data on the blockchain. This will increase safety for customers using centralized banks to send decentralized crypto. So the list. So far, the only two compatible cryptos are Ripple's XRP and Stellar Lumens. It's rumored that cryptos like Myota and Algorand are also compliant. However, Ripple is the only crypto player that's officially part of the ISO 222 management group. Here's a full list. Ripple, XRP, right at the top. Member of the ISO 222 standards body. Stellar, member of the ISO 222 standards body. Zinfin, XDC, compliant. IOTA, compliant. Algorand, compliant. HBAR, rumored to be compliant. Quant, rumored to be compliant. Cardano, rumored to be compliant. What qualifies Ripple to be a member of this group along with such major players as Visa and MasterCard? Ripple is currently the second largest fintech company in the US, only falling behind Stripe. Ripple's crypto XRP as well as Stellar Lumens crypto XLM, both created by Jed McCaleb, are both designed to move money at a very fast speed and very low cost. The average XRP transaction settles in 3 seconds compared to 45 minutes for Bitcoin. The main difference between these cryptos is that XRP is geared towards the banking sector and XLM is geared towards governments and digital currencies. For one, Ukraine chose XLM to build its official digital currency, and now with the advent of the news today, the UN chose Stellar and USDC in partnership with MoneyGram and to give the the aid, the cash, the disbursements of aid to Ukraine and like people dealing with hardships during like wars. So like, there you go. I mean, this is spot on. Conclusion: ISO is an organization that aims to set international standards in all spheres of production, encouraging trade and implementing safety standards across the globe. This organization sets the standards for financial institutions and has the power to impact the mainstream adoption of crypto. ISO has developed currency codes for fiat currencies under ISO 4217, but cryptos are not officially classified and use unofficial ISO codes. In the future, cryptos will use DTIs, digital token identifiers such as XBT, for Bitcoin when they are chosen for payments by commercial banks. Over the next few years, financial institutions will begin switching over to the ISO standard for communication, after which they'll be officially able to use crypto for payments. Currently, Ripple is the only crypto company to comply with the new standards and serve as a member of the ISO 222 management group. Other cryptos that become ISO compliant will benefit greatly, and that's a fact. And we already know the ones that start with X, those are the ones. Look at this list of the people on this list, ISO 222 registration management group member list: Australia, Austria, Brazil, Canada, China, Denmark, Finland, France, Germany, Italy, India, Japan, Korea, the Netherlands, Norway, Singapore, South Africa, Sweden, Switzerland, UK, US, right? Moduloop Foundation, Bill Gates, RippleNet, Bank of England, Visa, Swift, Nexo AISBL, NACHA, MasterCard, ISITC, ISDA, Fix Protocol, European Payments Council, European Central Bank, Euroclear, DTCC, Clearstream, CFTC, Act US. So it's no surprise that the CFTC is on there and the SEC is not. So to me, what I see is a heavy hitting list right here. 37 delegations. You have countries that make up more than half the list, central banks that make up like a quarter of them, and then the top biggest payment providers and money transfer companies. Then you got Ripple, this startup over in California, but they're not a startup. They're making waves now. They're making waves now, and we can see that. And they've been making waves. It's part of the grand plan. And now let's keep going, because we have a couple more things in here, but I don't want to be redundant about what ISO is. But ISO is set to be the de facto standard for high value payment systems of all reserve currencies. So all the money, 87% value of high value payments by 2023, ISO will account for 80% volumes of high value transactions. Crazy, crazy, crazy. The timeline now. So they decided to delay its migration by 1 year to November 2022. I believe they all upgraded, and they have until March to be fully upgraded and like ready to go. All right, so let's go to this next article here. So the ultimate guide to ISO migration, this is 28 pages, Dutch Bank. Let's see if we can find anything. This is the watershed moment for the industry. Over the next 5 years, the world's primary payment market infrastructures will undergo huge transformational change in response to demands for increased automation and cost efficiencies, enhanced market integration and real-time services. So these PMIs lie at the heart of the financial ecosystem, providing infrastructure for high-value payments, real-time gross settlement systems, low-value payments, automated clearinghouses, and real-time retail payment systems. As part of this transformational change, major PMIs such as the Federal Reserve and the Clearinghouse, Eurosystem, EBA Clearing, and the Bank of England's RTGS will all modernize their high-value payment systems almost simultaneously. The global Big Bang migration. Nuts. Underpinning each of these modernization programs is the migration to ISO 222. Then it keeps going into it, cross-border payments with a view to phasing out existing payment messages. Exactly what we can expect between now and 2025. So we know when the timeline ends. I mean, 2025, it's like you can dust off your hands and get on your jet, right? Like 2025 is when we should see all these things implemented. And then 2025 to 2030 is like, I'd say the maturity, like things that we couldn't even imagine right now as far as services, products, and softwares, and etc. New blockchains, new cryptos, that's when new things start to develop. And it's like the second kind of run, or the second layer to the building blocks of what the 2020 to 2025 has set, right? So let's keep going down. Move first, move fast, migration of global market infrastructure is what it means for banks. I think we get all this. Now let's go to, we get that. So ISO 222 in bytes, get ready for November 2022. This was in February 22nd of this year. They're going to go live for cross-border payments in November with 9 months to go. This is a key year. Let's see, there's a testing cycle. All right, implementation on the SWIFT network from Plus will take place on the third weekend of November the following year, which I believe is 2023. I don't know why it's saying the following year. All right, here we go. So payment market infrastructures continue to adopt high-value payment systems and meet the cross-border payments reporting timelines. An exception is the recent revised timeline to the Bank of England's CHAPS ISO 2022 migration project, with a new live date postponed to spring of 2023 with a big bang approach. Today, more than 30 domestic payment systems are planning to go live on ISO in 2022, while 80 will be live by the end of the coexistence period in November 2025. November 2025, we got like 3 years left. Yeah, 3 years. They're going to go fast, so it'll be definitely worth it. All right, so there's nothing else here. Let's look at this kind of overview. Planning migration by November 2022. Planning migration from 2023 to 2025. And then some have not specified whether they're going live or not. The US is in this phase. Seems like there's already some live over here. So India, China, Bank of Japan, World Bank India, Liechtenstein, Colombia, Ukraine, of course. All right, so let's go to the next one, and I think we're wrapping it up here. So unlock value at ISO 222. So improve straight-through processing, global interoperability in financial messaging, reduce payment processing costs, deeper customer relationships, enhance transaction traceability, harmonization across clearing systems. So then you have the timelines, 2022, right over here. So end of coexistence, November 2025. Migration postponed to Q4 2023 for Hong Kong and Fedwire US. And yeah, so we're in the final stages. All right, so for this last article here, it's European MI project, single market infrastructure gateway. I actually think this was this will be a big bang migration scheduled for November 2022. The objective is to meet changing market demands by replacing Target 2 with a new real-time gross settlement system and optimizing liquidity management across all Target services. The new RTGS system will offer the market-enhanced and modernized services and will migrate to ISO 222 messaging. Big bang. There we go. A common billing system, common data warehouse, common reference data, common payment systems. A new settlement model will be introduced for step 2. The main pan-European batch low-value payments and investment will continue. And a new central liquidity dashboard will provide real-time view on liquidity limits and balances across EBA's different services. And then you have the vision right here. We've already got the synergies between Target 2 and T2S, harmonized services for collateral management, and then November 2022 and beyond, new enhanced liquidity efficiency across services. So there we go. We've now reached the watershed moment as far as now from 2022 and beyond, we're going to see the liquidity aspects, the digital assets being tied in, the ISO 222 implemented, the X factor being implemented, right? So we're at the finish line here, guys. Stick it through. I know it could be tough. I don't know how long you've been waiting, but it's going to be all worth it. So I will see you guys in the next video. If you haven't already, click the subscribe button, click the notification bell. I'm posting a lot. You want to get these updates real time. And the link will be in the bio. Come join the Discord. Say what up. I will say what up too. And I'll see you in the next video.